Star Wars, Hobbit, Dune, Tarzan, Harry Potter, and a whole bunch of other stuff, pop-up books. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this time we're going to look at something different. We're going to look at some pop-up books. Pop-up books are paper engineer masterpieces. They're interesting, intricate. Some are better than others. Some have great subject matter and really cool design. And we're going to look at some of them now. So we're going to start off with Star Wars, and that's Return of the Jedi. Let me just get my glasses on so I can show you. This is from Random House from 1983. Pop-up of Star Wars pop-up book, Return of the Jedi. And just going to show you some how they open up. We're going to show some different angles. They all have these different. This is cool. Jabba the Hutt. So they all have different gizmos. Princess Leia and Han Solo when he was in Corbinite. Here's Luke and Jabba's falling into Jabba's trap, and then you pull the tab and he falls through the hole in the floor down where that monster was that he fought. This is Jabba the Hutt's yacht. Let me try and show you from all different sizes. It's cool, pretty cool book. I'd say on the basis of these, this is a pretty good one. That's when they were trapped. The Ewoks.
I just hold it for you.
And here's Ewoks and Luke use the Force. Here's where they use the guys on the biker, Imperial biker in the Ewok forest. And here's Luke and Darth Vader battling on the Death Star with the lightsabers. So all of these pretty cool designs that people make when they're doing pop-up books. Rebels blow up the Death Star. And in the end, the Ewoks and the Rebels celebrate a victory. This is kind of a 3D effect that it has. Next book we're going to look at is Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan pop-up book. This is from Random House from 1984. And this is the story of Tarzan. Alice and John Clayton sail from England to Africa, and the ship opens up. You can see the ship there. And it's kind of a nice opening. And his parents built the log cabin in the jungle, and here he's putting the roof. This got stuck on here, which is not supposed to be. I know, but I can't. Wait a minute. It got stuck on there. Okay. Comes down. And here, Kerchak and Kala, the apes, great apes, attack Tarzan's father, and that's the baby Tarzan in Kala's arms, who Kala was his adopted mother after Kerchak killed his mother and father. And here is Tarzan's world. Here he is climbing the tree. And you can see the whole 3D effect. This turn. The apes, great apes, swing on the trees. And there's one more. Oh, that's on the other side, okay. Here's Tarzan swinging on the vine. And here with an elephant. Elephant picks him up. That's Trantor. Elephant, a friend of Tarzan. Here's Tarzan with the Wazari. And he's playing a joke on them. He throws a skull down onto one of the native chiefs. Some of these stories are from Jungle Tales of Tarzan when he was a boy. Tarzan fights Kerchak, fights the great ape, leader of the great apes, and Tarzan becomes the leader of the great apes. And here he becomes the king of the apes. And there's natives that are watching him. And that's the Tarzan pop-up book. The back cover has Kerchak flying through the sky and Tarzan. Some of the books are better than others. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, illustrated by John Howe. This is a British book. It's published by HarperCollins, but there's no date on it. And here you have the beginning of The Hobbit, where Bilbo Baggins is met with Gandalf and some of the dwarves. This opens up. They come in through the door. The door itself opens up. And there's Gandalf coming to visit. It has a little lock. It's pretty cool. This book has side things where you can pull out, and it gives you some of the text of the book and also some of the movement of the pop-up book. The next page is Gollum, and there's some information about the story there. Over here. And that's Bilbo with Sting. And you're going to see Sting later in the Dune book, but that's Sting from the rock musician. Got his name from Sting, the sword that Bilbo used to fight. And giant spider. Artwork on these books is pretty cool. The design is pretty cool, the way things work. I believe this is Smaug, the dragon. You can see. Yeah. It's pretty cool. The next one is, this is one of the battles with the orcs. And you can see And that's the end of the Hobbit pop-up book from HarperCollins. Dune. This is the first movie, the original movie, Dune from the. This is Grosset and Dunlap pop-up book, and it is from. If I can find. It is from 1984. This is the Dino De Laurentiis movie. It's created by Media Silverman, illustrated by Daniel Kirk, and it's a pop-up panorama book. Interesting thing about this book is that it has all the characters in Dune that you can actually cut out from here and place them in scenes in the movie. So you have Paul Atreides, Lady Jessica Duke Leto, Baron Harkonnen, Fed, who is Sting, the actor, played Fed, Rabban, the Reverend Mother, Alia, Shani, Dr. Yule. So you have all the main characters in the movie that you can take out and put into certain spots, like in this view of the Paul's planet. And here's the Baron's planet. There's the Baron. He's flying around like the disgusting thing that he was. There's Fed, who is Sting, and Rabban, the Beast. And you could place the characters in this panorama pop-up book. Here's really impressive, the sandworms and the Freeman on Arrakis in Dune. And here's the Emperor's Palace with the Reverend Mother and Paul and his family. And different scenes, and this also has on the back, also it has the Harkonnen flagship, the Guild Highliner, which is where the people that have the spice that have been transformed by the spice into the navigators, Harkonnen trooper ship, and the Atreides ship. And next one. All these are pretty cool. I like them. I think they're fun. This is Wicked the Musical. It's a pop-up compendium. This is a pop-up book based on the musical, the movie, which was based on the books by Gregory Maguire. And this is by Melcher Media, and it's from 2009, and it's pretty cool. It comes right out at you. This one is like, when you open it up, it comes right out at you. The Wicked Witch of the West is Dead. This is based on the Wizard of Oz books by L. Frank Baum, but kind of a different scenario, a little different kind of storyline, and that's really cool. Here you have these pages that fold that give you information about the story, and you have a pop. This doesn't pop up, but it moves, showing Glenda the Good Witch coming down to Earth and see the Munchkins. So that's pretty cool. It just slides down and up and down with the Emerald City in the background. And the next one is University Gazette newspaper, and it opens up, and then you newspaper. Has Dear Glenda, somebody writing to Glenda the Good Witch, and sports, animal rights under fire, and then Glenda updates a message from Glenda the Good Witch of the Upper Uplands. A lot of these books, they not only have pop-ups, but they have just other little odds and ends, little envelopes and things like that are very cool. From the desk of Eliphalet Trope, and this is another letter based on the famous book Wicked by Gregory MacDonald. Maguire. I don't know why I said MacDonald. And again, more. Apologize for the talent, and the postcard kind of thing. And then you open up here again. There's see the Wicked Witch in the mirror. All of these various things open up the closet, and you can see a coat in there, under the bed, under the blanket, under the pillow. There's a green bottle of some magical substance. In the night table, there's various books, maybe they're magical. In the desk, there's various writing implements. There's a chest here that opens up, and there's a lot of shoes, including red slippers. And I believe that's the only one there. That's it. But then the next page is really nice. Emerald City. And basically, the City of Oz, it has a key to show you where all the where numbered, where all the places are. The main gate, the Wizard's Palace, the pavement, there's different buildings, library, Wizardmania, and of course this comes down. A Short Day in the Emerald City, a little story about going to the Emerald City. And here's the Wicked Witch in all her ghastly glory. Flying over the city, defying gravity. The wizard, and these, now you have some really impressive, look at this. Flying monkeys in the witch's in the witch's castle. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work. And of course these open up. A little hard to hold. But it tells you some of the more story of Wicked. But this is really, really stunning. And there's the witch right there. And I've been changed for good. Here's the Grimoire, Book of Magic, Wicked Witch's hat with the water bucket, Wicked, all the information for them. This is for the movie.
Musical.
The musical.
Broadway show.
Broadway show, which became a movie. And there's the back cover. Very nice pop-up book. Very nicely done. You can tour the Emerald City, and illustrations are by Greg Call, and the pop-ups are by Kees Moravec. And people that do these pop-ups, they call them paper engineers, are really, some of them are really talented. I mean, how they can configure these pages to open up, it's really amazing. This is a M.C. Escher pop-up book. M.C. Escher is the famous artist. This isn't really science fiction, but he was so steeped in using art as illusion, and his artwork is really terrific, and people love it. This is a oh, I don't know who published this book. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's by Pomegranate Art Books, and it's from 1991. And this is the M.C. Escher book. And you see, these are actually bringing alive some of his most famous paintings. And this was one where, if you know Escher, know his work, know these paintings, where the people walking back and forth and on and on. It's almost like infinity, the way he makes that painting. This is a very famous painting, illustration of the hand, and in the pop-up book it moves. So you have the kind of a yin and yang hand. And this one is just a kind of a three-dimensional looking illustration. This is a self-portrait of Escher, famous illustration. That's him looking at himself in the magic crystal ball. And this one here, this is interesting. This opens up. This is the ants on the infinity. Mobius strip, yeah. Mobius strip, infinity with the ants. Some great art. This is another famous one of his works, as is this. I believe this is was used for the cover art for Mott the Hoople, their first album in the 70s. And here, another piece of illustration art by Escher comes alive. Tower of Babel. And the next one, we've got two Harry Potter books. Harry Potter, this is based on the film, the first film. Art by Andrew Williamson, paper engineering by Bruce Foster. And the thing is, it's like the paper engineers that do these books is like pretty unbelievable, especially this one. And this is from Insight Editions. From 2010, Warner Brothers Books, or Warner Brothers Insight Editions probably has a under license from Warner Brothers, who made the movie. And this is from 2010. And Harry Potter. Here we go. It's interesting. You open up and you're at Hogwarts. And the Dumbledore's office. Open up. See what's in here. Who knows what could be in here. This comes out. And it's pretty cool. Dumbledore's Ministry of Magic advice. The warning, the wizarding community is currently under a threat from an organization calling itself the Death Eaters. Be vigilant. The next. Undesirable, number 1. Could that be Harry Potter? Yes, it could. Wanted poster. Contact the Ministry of Magic immediately if you have any information concerning the whereabouts. Failing to report will result in imprisonment. Reward: 10,000 gallons on his head. Undesirable, number 1. Harry Potter. Wanted poster. And Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. There we go. This is the cover of the book, the wraparound cover of the book. Beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Harry Potter. Flying on the eagle. And put these back nice and neat. Because people that have pop-up books like to have them
Don't worry about it.
very nice and neatly arranged.
Don't worry about that.
Here we get that in there. Okay. There's also here a little pop-up note. Welcome to the world of Harry Potter. We hope you will enjoy this look at the film series. And that's that. Okay. And then you're going into Diagon Alley, where Harry grew up. I guess I think this is where wizards and dragons and magic roam. And there's a white owl in a cage. See how these fold. I mean, these are really intricate. The artwork is really, really top notch, but just the way that they fold together, there's a certain beauty to them. Here's Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Here it is. An entire school. Giant castle. And there's another with a ship with students from the academy. Hogwarts tour. The next one, next page, is the magical creatures. And here you can see there's Dumbledore. Some of the other characters from the book and the movie. Just beautiful. giant spider, a centaur, and here's, this opens up. You have the dogs. Three-headed dog, Cerberus, guards the underworld, at least in the Greek mythology, and probably in the as well as in Harry Potter. And there's the legend telling you what is what. Also, this opens up. Mandrakes, which appear in Harry Potter. And just a beautiful, intricate piece of pop-up magic. Really makes the book come alive. Next page. Magical games and sports. And this is that dragon opening up. And he's flying, here's Harry on his magical broom, flying around the dragon. And this wizard chess. And over here, you have to be very careful with these. These are very sensitive, very delicate. When you open them. The sport of Quidditch. Harry Potter. On the next page, Dark Arts. As Harry and various villains, the hordes of Inferi that lie in the cave in which Voldemort had a piece of his soul, are some of the most frightening things to appear in a Harry Potter film. And here's a snake. Opens up, just like that. There's another over here. The hordes of Inferi. Dementors, which suck the happiness out of people they are near. I knew a few people like that. Here they are, the Dementors. Get that back in there. And there you have it, the Harry Potter pop-up book. This is from, I believe, the first film. The next one is a Harry Potter also, and it's from the Sorcerer's Stone. And this is from Scholastic. Opens up with Dumbledore and motorcycle. And enclosed in here is some Postal Service forever stamps of Harry Potter. Post Office did a series of Harry Potter stamps forever stamps, so they can be used anytime. This is from the United States Postal Service. And 20 first-class forever stamps. And this was just in the pop-up book, and I just thought we'd show that too, because it's a nice Harry Potter piece of history. And this is from 2013. So, without further ado, we're going to look at the rest of this Harry Potter book. There's the cat, the lights go out and in, lights go out, lights come on. The rowboats out in the water before Hogwarts, sinister looking Hogwarts. The boat moves. And the Palace of Hogwarts, School of Hogwarts. Not as well done, but not as well done as in the other book. This is a Scholastic book. It's very nice, but the other one, the previous one, was a lot more interesting, I think. Here's the. This is interesting now. This is the famous game where they are riding the brooms, and here's where action takes place. And on the other side as well. Sometimes these are a little stiff. They're not often used. Okay. The next page is the fight with the demon. And the pull shows him using the magic wand to fight the demon. Next page is the mirror. And these tabs always show all kinds of movement. And in the mirror, you see him standing there. And then he's got the magic talisman. Next page is it's pretty nice. The lunchroom at Hogwarts. All the wizard apprentices. And that's the Harry Potter. The last book is doesn't really fit in with this. It does kind of fit in, but it doesn't. It's we've been looking at science fiction and fantasy pop-up books, but this is the pop-up book of phobias. Pop-ups are by Matthew Reinhardt, illustrated by Balvis Rubis, created and written by Gary Greenberg. This is a Melcher Media pop-up book. From 1999. This is an American edition. And it's the Book of Phobias, so we're going to take a look at some phobias now, which Could be fantasy, horror. One of the phobias. Ooh. Dentophobia. Acute anxiety brought on by the intrusion or threat of intrusion of the oral facial complex by a practitioner of dentistry. Being scared to hell of the dentist. Yeah, well, yeah, that goes without saying. Dentophobia. And the next one, next phobia, is aerophobia. A chronic and often disabling fear of air travel. Some people have a fear of air travel. Imagine that. You know? Huh. Comprehensive surveys conclude that roughly 1 out of every 5 adults exhibits clinically significant flight anxiety. Yeah.
1 out of 5 is smart.
1 out of 5. Yeah, see how everything's... Notice the out the window, how when you open up the book, the land is like horizontal, and then everything goes upside down and there's flames all over. This is a pretty cool book. This is a fun book. If you didn't have any of these, as long as you don't have any of these anxieties. Next one is, and some of these are hard to pronounce, Phidiophobia. Intense and often hysterical aversion to snakes. The fear is nearly universal among humans and other animals, and is even prevalent among persons who have had no first hand contact with snakes. So this looks like Indiana Jones had this for sure, and that looks like a cobra, but any kind of snake is. So it's Phidiophobia. Next phobia, claustrophobia. And that's one we all could know. Anxiety experienced in tightly enclosed spaces. So that's Edgar Allan Poe wrote A Cask of Amontillado, which is, and he also wrote, he or Lovecraft wrote a story about a person who was bricked up in a wall, and that's got to be claustrophobia. So they were preying on this common anxiety and phobia. Next one is mysophobia, pathological fear of exposure to unsanitary or disease-producing substances, including dirt, germs, mud, excrement, and sputum. Nice. So this is your germophobia, basically. I've seen some toilets like that in my day. Actually, some of that weren't. And they never have toilet paper, too, you know? They never has toilet paper when you need it. It's mysophobia.
Lift the seat cover.
Lift the seat cover? I'm afraid. Eek. Yeah. It's not as bad as it could have been. The next phobia is glossophobia. Marked and persistent fear of speaking in public, commonly called performance anxiety or stage fright. So this is kind of, I don't know, everybody's staring at you, and there's a giant microphone sticking in your face, kind of make you nervous. But they say the best thing to do when you have fear of speaking is just imagine everybody that's watching you is nude, and don't worry about it. So I don't know. It's like I wouldn't want to see any of them nude.
In their underwear.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see any of them anyway. So that's glossophobia. Next one is famous movie title, Arachnophobia, profound distress caused by members of the class Arachnida. Sufferers report that the most common symptom is the skin crawl response, So it's
Almost dropped you.
fear of spiders.
Yikes! I put my finger in front of the lens.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, everybody.
That's okay. Accidents happen. This big spider's going to bite you now. Okay, and the next one, boom,
Fear of heights.
fear of heights, agoraphobia. I'm going to turn this one around so you can just see. So it's like you're on the top of the building and you're looking down at the 4-lane, 5-lane highway below, giant buildings across the street, and you're out by the window walking on the ledge. It's a Jimmy Stewart movie. Or Cary Grant, North by Northwest.
Gibson.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, Mel
High
Brooks
Anxiety.
too. High Anxiety, yeah. Okay, and the next one is, I didn't know that this was an actual phobia, but it's coulorophobia. Couloro phobia. Overwhelming fear of clowns, the origin of which can usually be traced to negative circus experiences in early childhood. Or if you happen to meet John Wayne Gacy. Yeah. What's his name? On Seinfeld, who was scared to hell of clowns. Jerry Seinfeld's neighbor Kramer had an irrational fear of clowns. And some people like clowns, though. I don't know. I don't dig them.
Not when they look like that.
Yeah, they're creepy. And John Wayne Gacy was a famous serial killer who liked to dress up as a clown to entertain kids. He's a real piece of work.
POS.
And the last one is necrophobia. It's right out of like Lovecraft or Clark Ashton Smith. A morbid dread of one's own demise. And here you are looking at up above from inside the grave. Not a position you'd like. And that is the end of the pop-up book of phobias. Whew. Whoa. Pop-up books are pretty cool. Back in episode number 49, I did the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu Mythos pop-up book. So if you really want to see a pop-up book that'll pop your mind out, go back and look at episode 49 for that Cthulhu Mythos H.P. Lovecraft pop-up book. But these are pretty cool. These are interesting. We have a little collection of them, and we enjoy them. They really make the book come alive. Some of them are really, really so well done, and the pop-up really pops right out at you, and it's really cool. So I just wanted to share these with you, and if you're interested in pop-up books, give me a shout out, let me know, and maybe we can do another video of some other pop-up books that we have. That'll be pretty cool, like Elvis Presley and other famous people and stuff like that. It's not so much in the science fiction, fantasy, crime genre, but they're still nevertheless pretty interesting. So if you're interested in that, let us know. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this excursion into the land of pop-ups. And give us a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, talk to your friends and neighbors and everybody, have them subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.